In this video, I am going to show you that how you can create a stunning blog website for any niche using AI tools called Midjourney and Chatgpt. We will begin by using Midjourney AI to create the layout design ideas for blog layout. Then we will use Chatgpt to write the content, and after that, we will finally use WordPress to convert that blog page idea into functional blog. The process requires the use of appropriate prompts, so make sure you watch the entire video because you won't be able to generate such blog designs without the appropriate prompts. Before we get started, make sure you smash the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell icons to get notified whenever I upload new video. Now without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that we will do is to go to this Midjourney AI. You will have to actually log into your Midjourney account, and for that you will have to sign up for the Midjourney account. You will get an invite that you will have to accept, and then you will have the access for their Midjourney Discord server. If you don't know that how you can create the account on Midjourney, I have another video where I showed you that how you can create an account on Midjourney and how you can use the Midjourney AI to create any kind of art that you are seeing here. The people around the world are crazy. They are creating the crazy things using the Midjourney AI. So in our case, we'll be using the Midjourney AI to create a blog design for a travel blog, and then later we'll use that design to create an functional blog using WordPress. So right here, once you are logged into Midjourney account, what you want to do is to simply choose one of their newbie servers. So I am here in this server. You can choose any of these servers here. So actually I'll choose this server. So then what you'll have to do is to simply click here, and then you can type in imagine a beautiful blog for travel blog, and then you will have to specify what it is. So it is a brand, and then you want to specify we need a premium design, and then you can type in UI, UX, UI over UX, and then you can choose the aspect ratio of 3:2, and then you can choose the version. So we'll use the version 4, which is the latest version of Midjourney AI, and then after that simply click enter on your keyboard, and the Midjourney bot will accept your prompt here. Then you will have to wait for few seconds up to few minutes until the Midjourney bot will process this prompt that we have generated and get us some results. So right here you can see that it has already started working on our blog. If I scroll down, you can see that there is the blog page that it has generated for us. So if I click on this one, you can see that it has given us 4 different ideas. I actually don't see one of the working ideas here. This is just a demo pages that it has generated for us. But what I can do is to ask him to generate some more ideas around the prompt that we have generated. So for that, we'll have to click on this icon here. So once we'll click on this icon here, the Midjourney bot will again start working on it, and then it will provide us some more ideas that we can use for our blog page design. Alright, so here you can see that it has generated 4 different ideas now. So if I open this one in a new browser, you can see that what it has generated for us. I actually like this idea here. We can try creating this kind of blog layout using WordPress, but before that I want to ask him to generate us some more ideas around this version 4 so that we can see if we have any different options here. So now what I'll do is to simply click on this V4 so that it can generate some more ideas for us, and then we can finally choose one of the layouts, and then we can go to ChatGPT to start creating the content that we can use on WordPress so that we can have some blog post that will help us to create the blog page and the archive page and the home page on our WordPress website. So here it is already created 4 different ideas for us. If you look at this thing here, we have these ideas here. These, I think this is the hero section, and then we can specify the categories here, and then we can display the blog post here. We have kind of like similar layouts here, but I think this one is the more functional idea here. So I'll simply upscale this idea so that we can export that idea, and then we can use that idea. So for upscaling this version 3, I'll simply click on this U3 here so that I can upscale this image for us. So right here you can see that it has upscaled us this image. If I open this image in the browser, you will be able to see that what it has generated for us. So we will be using this layout to create our blog page on WordPress. So for that, what I'll do is to simply save this image on my desktop so that we can later use this image. So for now, what I want to do is to ask ChatGPT to create us a bigger image for this hero section. So in order to do that, what you can do is to go back to Midjourney AI, and then you can type in imagine mountains side image, vector image for blog hero section. So we can get some of these images so that we can create a similar layout than what we have here. So right here you can see that it has generated us these 4 different concepts, but what I want him to specify the colors so that we can have this kind of color that we have here. So I'll ask him to use the brown color and the dark brown colors for the mountains, and then we will export this image and then we will move ahead. So right here you can see that I have generated 2 different images for the hero section. I will see that which one of these images will fit in this kind of layout for the blog page. So that now we have the images for the hero section and the layout idea for the hero section. The next step would be to go to the Chatgpt so that we can start creating some content for the blog page. So for that, what we'll have to do, so here I am logged into Chatgpt and I'll ask the Chatgpt to write the content for travel blog homepage. So with this prompt, Chatgpt will start writing the content for us. Right here you can see that it has already started writing some content for us that we can use for our blog posts. So here you can see that we have this text here. We will use some of this text for our homepage, and now what I want to do is to ask the Chatgpt to write some title ideas so that we can actually write some posts on WordPress. So for that, what I will do is to ask him to write 10 blog posts ideas for travel blog. So with this, it will start suggesting us 10 different kind of blog post ideas, and then we will ask him to actually write the blog post using the same ideas that it is suggesting us for now. Okay, so now it has already generated us these 10 different ideas. What I will do is to ask him, can you write blog posts on these ideas? Okay, so here you can see that it has already started writing some of these blog posts on these ideas. So the first one is the ultimate guide to planning a trip to Europe. So it is already creating the content for us that we will use on our blog post. So let it write the content and I'll get back here. So right here you can see that Chatgpt has already created some of the content for the blog post ideas that we have generated using the Chatgpt. The next step would be to log into our WordPress dashboard, and then we can actually start building the blog that we have just compiled using the Midjourney AI and Chatgpt. So here you can see that I am already logged into my WordPress dashboard. So the first thing first that I want to do is to go to the settings, and from here I'll click on this permalinks, and from here I'll choose this post name, and then I'll click on save changes. After that, what I want to do is to click on this general, and then I want to change the site title, and I want to make it something like travel blog, and then I'll click on save changes. After that, what you can do is to go to these pages, and then I want to remove the default pages, and then you can click on add new, and then you can type in the page name. So for now I want to only create the home page, and then I'll hit publish there. For this blog page design that we have created using the Midjourney AI, I want to use a page builder that is Elementor. So I'll go to plugins, and then I'll click on add new, and then from here I want to search for Elementor. I'll click on Elementor website builder here. One more plugin that I want is LA custom skins. So this is the plugin. So I'll click on LA custom skins here as well. I'll download this plugin also. And then one more plugin, and that is Elementor Pro. So you need the Elementor Pro actually for this tutorial. So make sure you have Elementor Pro. I have Elementor Pro 3.10.0. So I'll simply upload and install this plugin on my website. Next up, we need to install a theme for our WordPress website. For that, we'll go to Appearance, Themes. And for this layout idea for the blog, we'll use a theme that is Hello Elementor. So I'll click on this install button here, and then I will activate this theme here. Now we have the theme installed, the page created, and the required plugins activated. We can actually start creating our blog design idea. But before start designing our blog, what I'll do is to simply upload the blog post that we have created using the Chatgpt. So in order to create the blog post, what you will have to do is to simply copy one of these titles, and then you will go to this post option here. I'll get rid of this default post here, and then I'll click on this add new button there, and then I can actually insert the title that Chatgpt have created for us. If you want you can specify these categories here. For that you will have to click on this add new category. So because this is specifying the Europe, so I'll copy this Europe from here and I'll categorize this as Europe, and then I'll click on add new, and in this way you will have a new category here. So now we have this Europe category here. Next up, what I want to do is to simply copy the content that ChatGPT have created for us, and then I will insert that content here. The only thing left now is to add the featured image. So we now have to insert the featured image. In order to set the featured image, we will have to click here, and then you can click on select files. I already have downloaded some of these images that we can use as featured images, so I'm just selecting all of these images so that I can upload them all at once, so that we can use them on all the blog posts. So for now I want to use this image for this blog post, so I'll set this image as a featured image, and here you can see that we have our featured image showing here. Once that is done, I'll click on this publish here, and in the same way I'll upload all the remaining blog posts. So for example, the next post is 10 off the beaten path destination in Asia, so I'll add this title here. I'll copy this content and I'll paste this content right here. For some reason this is in bold, so I want to remove this bold from there. I'll go on this post option, and then from here I want to insert one more category, and I will title this one as Asia. So I'll add this new category here. I'll select this category, and then I'll click on select featured image, and then from here we can select one of these featured image. This is from Pakistan, one of the north areas of Pakistan. So I'll click on as set as featured image here, and then I'll click on publish. So now we have two posts here. In the same way I'll add more blog posts so that we have some content that we can use to create the layout of our blog page. Alright, so I have uploaded a total of 8 blog posts here. One more plugin that I want to add in here, that is Elementor image hover effects for Elementor. So we'll just install one more plugin, this one, image hover effects Elementor add-on. So we will simply install this plugin and we'll activate this plugin. So that now we have all of these required plugins. Now we can actually start creating our blog idea. So here you can see that we have kind of the hero section, and then we can use some menus here, and then we have this hero image right here, and then we have some title here, some content here, a button here, then we can display our categories here, and then right here we can display the blog post. So I also want to create a custom layout for this blog post, and then we can create this kind of archive layout as well. So now let's start with creating a simple header, and then we'll create a simple footer as well. In order to create the header, what you need to do is to go to this appearance and then menu, so that we can create a navigation item. Let's add a new menu, type in main nav or main menu, anything that you want. Click on create menu here, choose the page that we have created, and after that we can actually add some dummy menu items here. So here you can see that I have added these custom menu items here. I'll click on save menu, and now we have this menu saved here. Next step would be is to go to this templates, and then we can go to this theme builder here. So we'll go to this theme builder, and then we can actually start creating the header for our blog page. So we will begin by creating the header. So in order to create the header, click here and then click on add new, and we'll have to wait until the Elementor page builder will get loaded here. So here you can see that Elementor page builder is loaded. I'll click on X mark here, and then I want to use some of these colors instead of using these colors, because we no longer have this image right here. So I want to use these colors that we have here. In order to use these colors, I'll use one of the extension that is called Colorzilla. I'll use Colorzilla to pick the colors. So I want to use this color right here as the button colors. So first of all, let's add some global colors in Elementor that will help us to reduce the time. So click on these global colors. In the primary color, I want to insert the colors that I have just picked up, and then I want to use one more color that would be this blue color here. So I'll copy this color, and then I'll go back to Elementor and I'll add this color as the secondary color. After that, we need to insert the color for our text. So for our text, maybe I'll use a color like this. So I'll copy this color code and I'll insert this color code right here. And after that, we need one accent color. I'll use the accent color from one of the color here. So I'll copy this color from there and I'll insert the color here. After that, we need to choose a font for our travel blog. So in this example, I'm using a font that is called Pop Poppin. So we'll use Poppins as primary, and then we will use Rubik as the secondary font. For the text I want to use Rubik, and then for the accent I want to use Poppins. Alright, so now I have the font set it up here, I have the color set it up here. What we can do is to simply click on update button here, and then I'll X mark here. Now finally we can start creating our header. Now in order to create the header, what I want to do is to click on this plus icon here, and then we can choose this column layout here. So in this example I want to use this 3 column layout actually, and then in the very first column what I want is to insert a heading text here so that we can enter the name of our website. In here I'll type a travel blog. I want to use a script font here, so I'll have to search for a script font if we can get one script font. So here you can see we have one of these script fonts here. I'll change its color, and then I'll change its weight, and then I'll increase some letter spacing here. After that what I want to do is to add a line height of 1.3 em here, and then this will be a placeholder for our logo here. Then I want to adjust the column width here, and then what we can do is to insert the nav menu here, and then we can start aligning these nav menu items. So for now I want to align the nav menus towards the right side, and then here we can specify the animation whenever you hover over these items. So for now it is underlined. We can choose overline, double line, framed, background or text. I want to keep it as underlined, but instead of fade I want to use grow, so that whenever you hover over you can have something like this here. Then for the sub menu indicator, we don't have any sub menus here, so it doesn't actually matter. For the mobile drop down I'll choose the full width here, and I want to align the toggle towards the right side. Now we can actually start designing these menu items. So now what we can do is to change the font color. So I want to use something like this as the font color, and then for the hover we have a fine color, and then for the active we can actually change this color to something like this. And then I want to insert one button here, so I'll insert this button right here, and then I'll increase its width to justified, and after that I want to align this content vertically in the middle. I want to align all of these content vertically in the middle so that they should be in line and we don't have any kind of glitch here. So what I can do is to change this one as contact, or you can use any kind of CTA here. I will use as medium size for the button, and then what I want is to add a border radius of 40 pixel here, so that we have kind of like this rounded corners here. Then I want to change the background color to something like this, and then for the hover I want to change the color to something like this, so that we can have a transition of like this. Alright, so now we have this thing created here. What I can do is to actually change this color to this text color so that we have some sort of hierarchy here, and then we can adjust the font sizes. I'll use a font size of 17 pixels with a 400 font weight. Alright, so now we have this thing right here. What we can do is to click on this publish button, and then I'll click on add condition entire site, and then we can click on save and close. Alright, so now we have this header created. I'll head back to this post, but before I need to click save one more time, and then we can click on this exit button here, and then we are back here in the WordPress dashboard. But now if I go to the front end of my website, you will see that we have this header showing right here. Now what we can do is to start creating this layout, because we have header already now. So in order to start creating layout, what I can do is to go to these pages, and then I can go to this all pages, and then we can click on this edit button right here. Then what you want to do is to click on this template, and then choose Elementor full width, hit update here, and then click on edit with Elementor. So once the Elementor page builder will get loaded, what you need to do is to click on the plus icon and then choose the layout. So in here what we want is to insert an image, so I'll choose single column layout. Then you can adjust the height. So in this case I'll choose the height of minimum height with the height of 600 pixels, and then you can click on this style tab, then you can click on this classic, and then I need to upload the images for the hero section. So here I have uploaded these images. I will use this image, and then I'll click on insert image, and as soon as I'll insert this image, you can see that we have this image showing like this. I'll click on center position, then repeat as no repeat, and size as cover. So, and I'll click on size as cover. I want to change the positioning, and then I'll click on custom. Then for the Y position, I'll drag it towards the left side until we'll see this plane right here. So now we need to actually adjust this a bit more, or what we can do is to click here, and then we can choose bottom center, but this is not looking good. So we'll actually need to fix this one, and then we can choose minus 900 from there, and then in here you can see that we have this plane showing on here. What we can do is to change the minimum height to 700 pixels so that we have this plane showing something like this. So what else I want to do is to insert a spacer here so that we have something as a placeholder in here. So now we have this image added in here. What we can do is to go back here, and then we can actually start creating these two sections. So for that, what I need to do is to click on this plus icon, and then you can choose to column layout here. And then first of all, what I want to do is to add a padding at the top. I want to use a padding of 5% on the top and the 5% on the bottom. I want to increase this width to something like 60% instead of 50%. And then if I view this design again, we have this title, and then we have this small text here. So I want to insert the title here. I'll insert the heading widget from Elementor, and then I'll go back to this ChatGPT, and from the ChatGPT I'll copy this text that it has generated for us. So I'll insert this text right here. After that, what I will do is to change its color, something like this, and then what we can actually do is to change its color to something like this. And then the next step, I want to insert the text field here, and in the text field I want to copy all of this text that it has generated, and then I will paste this text here. So now we have this text and the title showing here. What we can do is to insert this button right here. So in order to insert this button right here, what we'll have to do is to insert this inner section, and after the inner section you will have to adjust its width, and then you can insert the text editor and the text that we have just copied. After that, what we want to do is to insert a button. Now instead of designing the button all over again, what I will do is to click on this edit header button here, and I'll copy this button that we have created, and then I'll click on edit page again, and then I'll insert this button right here. I think we actually need to reduce the content in here, so I'll remove this content so that we have only a few sentences of text and then a button right here. Once we have this thing here, I actually want to insert one more inner section there, and then we can insert this text title right here, and then we can adjust the width of this column. So now we have this thing created. Next up we need to do is to add some boxes with the images that will represent all the destination of categories that we have. Now in order to do that, what you can do is to use these inner sections. So paste in these inner sections right here. Now what you will have to do is to insert a background image in this column. For that we'll click on this classic and then choose image. I'll actually use all the images that we already used for the blog post. So this one, maybe I'll use this image right here, and then I'll click on insert, and then I'll adjust the position to center and size to cover. And after that, what I want to do is to use this spacer right here to adjust the height of this thing. So I'll make this one as maybe something like 200 pixels, and then what I want to do is to add some border radius. For that I'll click on this border, and then we can choose 30 pixels of border radius. So now we have this thing right here. What we can do is to duplicate this thing, and then I'll delete this column, and then what you can do is to add some margin, so something like 10 pixels in here, and then you can apply the same margin right here, so something like 10 pixels in here as well. After that, what you want to do is to simply change this image that is here. So for that, click on style and then click here. Then I'll use a different image for this one. So maybe I'll use this image that is here. I'll insert this image right here. So now we have these two images right here. But what we need to do is to add one big image here as well. So in order to add that image, so in order to create this kind of layout, what we'll have to do is to create an additional section right here. And then what you can do is to simply actually copy this inner section, and then you can insert this inner section here, and then you can duplicate this column from here, and then you can remove one of this column from here, and from here you will have to delete these two columns. For this one, you will have to actually increase the width of this thing to 60%, and then you can increase the height of this to something like 400 pixel, and then you can actually duplicate this column from here. So once we will duplicate this column, we'll actually have to increase the height from here. I'll make it 500, and then I'll increase the height of this thing to 220, or maybe something like 240. It's not working. 250 and 260. 260 is fine. I'll make this one as 260 as well. So now we have this layout here. I'll change some of these images in this layout. So I'll change this image to a different image, so maybe an image of this, and then I'll change this image to something like this, and then we can actually, it's not loading, so we'll need to use a different image. So I'll use this image, and then we can use a different image for this one as well. So once you have this column created here, I actually want to get rid of 2 of these columns from there, and then we can copy this column and paste this column right here, and I want to get rid of this column from there. Then I will copy this column from here, and I want to insert this column right here. So now we have this kind of similar layout, and then we can adjust their height. Now I want to adjust this height as well to something like 200, and then I want to insert the adjust the height of this to 200 as well, and then we can reduce the height of this thing as well. So now right here you can see that we have this grid created, and this is something like this, and now we need to insert the blog post that we have created right here. So in order to create those blog posts, what we can do is to actually use a posts widget that Elementor has. So I'll use this post widget, and I'll insert this widget here, and then I'll choose this card layout, and then instead of 3 column I want to use 1 column right here. I'll remove this metadata, and then I want to remove these badges from here, and I want to remove this avatar from here as well. Now here you can see that we have these cards showing here. Now I want to limit these cards. So in order to limit these cards, you can change the post per page. So I want to change this one to 2 posts here, and then if you want, you can actually duplicate this inner section so that you have different inner section in here, and then you can change their positioning, and then so you can actually switch this layout from here. And then if I look at this design, we have this kind of like a light background color here, so we can insert a light background color right behind these posts. So for that I'll choose this text color, and I will then reduce its opacity to something like this. And then what I want to do is to add some padding, so probably like 50 pixels is a bit higher, so maybe like 30 pixels. And then I'll choose this post widgets, and then I'll go to style, the card, and the border radius. I want to insert the border radius of 40 pixels so that we have the same effect just like how we have here. Then the last thing that I want to do is to reduce the padding from top and reduce the padding from bottom, and I only want to add the padding in the column. So I'll click on this percentage, and then from the top I'll add 3% padding from the top, 3% from the right, 3% from the left, and 3% from the bottom. And now if we have a look at this template, so we have something like this. So in this way you can actually take the inspiration from Midjourney AI, and then you can use the ChatGPT to create the content for your blog, and then you can use the inspiration and the content to create your actual working blog. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon so that you will always get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.